All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Whether you're just holding your very first crystal or you've literally spent years hunting down rare pieces to build out a carefully curated collection, figuring out how to actually look after them is absolutely crucial. So today, we're going to break down exactly how to properly maintain, protect, and display your crystals so you can keep them looking gorgeous for years to come.
Now, there's this really fascinating paradox to crystal collecting. On the one hand, you've got these incredible pieces of the Earth that formed over millions of years under just immense pressure and heat, right? So you'd think they'd be virtually indestructible. But the reality, a lot of these natural wonders are surprisingly delicate. It's kind of crazy, but nature's most durable creations can actually be completely ruined by everyday household elements if you aren't paying attention. A little bit of care really is all that stands between a pristine collection and, well, accidental scratches, chips, or fading.
So, to help you curate your own personal museum, we'll be walking through 4 essential themes today: handling and safe storage, the art of cleaning, protecting against the elements, and finally, displaying and connecting.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, handling and safe storage. Basically, how to protect your physical collection.
The biggest thing to remember here is that while crystals might look tough, and yeah, okay, some truly are harder than they appear, a lot of them are actually quite soft or brittle. The absolute secret to avoiding devastating scratches or chips is just gentle handling. A good rule of thumb: always pick up your crystals over a soft surface. If they happen to slip out of your hands, dropping them over a carpet or a soft mat could literally save them from shattering into a million pieces. You also want to be really careful to prevent them from knocking together, especially if you're dealing with sharp points or those super fragile formations. And, when they aren't on display, gently wrap individual pieces in soft tissue paper or store them in padded boxes. If you've got larger, heavy-duty specimens, definitely separate them using bubble wrap or foam to stop them from rubbing together and causing friction damage.
But hey, hiding them away in padded boxes isn't always the goal, right? We want to see them. If your collection is going out in the open, investing in a glass cabinet is absolutely brilliant. Glass doors give you this awesome dual benefit. They physically protect your pieces from accidental knocks, like, say, from a wagging dog tail or just people walking by, while keeping them beautifully visible. Plus, they act as a fantastic barrier against our next major enemy, dust.
Which brings us to Section 2, the art of cleaning and maintaining that natural beauty. Because, let's face it, even in a cabinet, dust naturally builds up over time, and it loves to settle into those intricate formations and complex crystal clusters. When it comes to maintenance, there are some very strict do's and don'ts. For those delicate specimens covered in a light layer of dust, a dry, soft paintbrush or makeup brush works absolute wonders. It reaches right into those complex little clusters without applying any harsh pressure. For polished crystals, a soft microfiber cloth is usually all you need to bring back that gorgeous shine. Now, if a crystal absolutely must be washed, stick to lukewarm water and dry it carefully right away. But listen up, because here is the major hidden danger: household cleaning products. You have to avoid these entirely. Some of the chemicals in everyday surface cleaners can severely damage a crystal surface or even permanently alter the mineral itself, so definitely keep the everyday cleaners away from your collection.
Okay, moving right along to Section 3, protecting against the elements, those hidden dangers of light, water, and heat. It turns out it's not just harsh chemicals you need to worry about. You actually have to be highly strategic about where you place certain stones in your home, because natural elements can be massive threats. While a lot of crystals love a bright room, prolonged exposure to strong, direct sunlight can literally bleach the color right out of stones like amethyst, rose quartz, fluorite, and celestite. Finding a bright room away from direct UV rays is for sure your safest bet. And remember a minute ago when I mentioned using lukewarm water? Well, scratch that as a universal rule. Minerals like halite, selenite, and satin spar gypsum can literally dissolve, deteriorate, or become severely damaged if they get wet. Also, certain copper-based minerals like malachite are highly reactive to water. The golden rule here is simple. If you are even slightly unsure whether a crystal is water safe, double-check it before a single drop of water touches it.
And aside from light and water, temperature actually plays a massive role in crystal care. Sudden changes in temperature can cause this intense internal stress within some minerals, sometimes literally fracturing them from the inside out. No one wants that. So make sure to keep your collection far away from common household heat sources like radiators or wood-burning stoves. And just as importantly, try to avoid moving your specimens rapidly between very cold and very warm environments. When it comes to temperature, stability is the absolute key to longevity. Finally, let's look at Section 4, displaying and connecting, the really personal side of your collection.
Honestly, displaying your crystals is one of the greatest joys of collecting, but it does require a bit of spatial awareness. You really want to avoid overcrowding your shelves. Giving each specimen just a little bit of breathing room doesn't just let you truly appreciate its unique beauty, it also dramatically reduces the chance of accidentally knocking something over when you're moving pieces around. Oh, and a highly practical tip, use sturdy shelves and robust cabinets. So many minerals are incredibly dense and weigh way more than they look. You definitely do not want a flimsy shelf collapsing under the weight of a heavy, beautiful specimen. Now, beyond just the physical care, there's also the personal connection that so many of us build with our collections. Lots of collectors really enjoy practices like meditation, intention setting, or honestly just taking a few quiet minutes to sit with their crystals. Some folks also choose to symbolically refresh the energy of their crystals by putting them out under the moonlight or doing other personal rituals. It's worth noting, of course, that these practices are based entirely on individual beliefs and traditions rather than, hard scientific evidence. But whether you choose to include them as part of your own curation process is totally up to you and your personal preference.
I think this brings us to a quote that beautifully summarizes our entire journey today. Every crystal collection tells a story. Think about it. Maybe a specific piece reminds you of the fascinating geological history of the Earth. Or maybe it just sparks a great memory of a distant place you visited, people you've met, or a major milestone in your life. By caring for your crystals with just a little bit of extra thought and attention, protecting them from harsh light, water, sudden heat, and physical knocks, you're making sure these beautiful pieces can continue to bring you immense joy for years and years.
So now that you know exactly how to protect and maintain your own personal museum, I want you to take a look at your own shelves and ask yourself this: what story does your crystal collection tell? And perhaps more importantly, are you doing everything you can to preserve that story for the future?